Today is Thursday, September 19. And today I have 3 things that I learned today that was just very interesting, and I want to try to connect them all. I don't know if they're going to be able to be connected, but that's kind of what's going on in my brain right now. The first thing is something that I am basically just going to try to do, like something I've realized that I need to be doing, something that I want to be doing a lot more because it's just so much better for me. And that is when I have the small pockets of time to learn within those small pockets of time. So to give an example, I have an online class that starts at 2:30 today. And at 2:20, I'm prepared for the class, I'm ready to go, but then I just have 10 minutes to just wait. So my default is to start scrolling or to pull up YouTube or something. But then I realized this is a complete waste of my 10 minutes. I might as well learn something or do something that's that I can do in these 10 minutes. And I just started going through my old notebook because there's still some notes in here that I'd like to do stuff with. So I was just going through this and doing that kind of thing. And I just used that 10 minutes to do something that was actually good for me. It wasn't something that I didn't want to do. It wasn't something particularly fun, but it was just something that I wanted to get done and that is really helpful for me. So I just think that is a very valuable resource. When you're just waiting for something to happen and you don't really have a purpose for a certain 10 or 20 minutes of your time, do something productive. At least have one thing that you can do in those little pockets of time. How I'm going to try to apply this is that within car rides, I feel like whenever I sit there, I'm just doing nothing and it feels like such a waste of time. So when I'm just sitting there doing nothing, I'm going to try to do what I'm doing. So another thing that I'm thinking I would really like to do, when I am in these small pockets of time, is to learn something. So either start reading, if there's more time, start reading or try to continue reading a certain book, or start watching, I'm going through a YouTube, a free YouTube course thing, and maybe start watching one of those. There's so much opportunity to just learn and do things that are productive, just the small little things that will get you, they add up. So I'm just going to try to start being more productive and just learning in those small pockets of time. Another thing that I've been trying to do, especially today, is that so when I have a certain tab open in my browser, I use the Arc browser. Let's say most commonly it's a newer YouTube channel that I want to revisit later. Sometimes I'll just think, if I start watching this person, is that gonna help me or hurt me? How is that gonna affect my life? More often than not, they're just entertainment people that don't really add that much value in my life. It's okay to watch entertainment videos, but I don't want to consistently watch those when I could be learning or doing something a little bit more productive. So I'm not necessarily going to subscribe to them, but maybe I would watch a couple of their videos. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And this seems so overkill. It seems so overkill to be I'm not going to watch any videos that make me laugh or are entertaining. That's not true. It's perfectly fine to watch that kind of thing. I was literally doing that earlier. I watch baseball games. That's entertaining. But when I'm evaluating if I want to continue and consistently and always be watching a certain thing, I'm not going to default to, I don't want to add entertainment content into my brain so much, because I can instead use that time for better things. I hope this makes sense. I'm not trying to be hustle culture, you have to only be consuming things that you're going to apply. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I'm going to try to minimize when I am wasting time. I don't want to go to those entertainment sources. I want to use those pockets of time to do what I was talking about earlier. So that is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. How I'm transitioning this into the next point is that this morning while I was eating breakfast, I was watching a video about building a personal brand, which I guess is kind of what I'm doing here. Like, I have this channel attached to my name, and I'm talking about the things that I want to learn about and I want to talk about, and the things that I am learning and, like, applying to my life. And it's kind of weird to say, like, I'm building a personal brand. Like, that's kind of weird, but essentially that is kind of what I'm doing. So basically, I was watching this video about building a personal brand, and the takeaway that I had from that video that I just found was really interesting was that building a personal brand is basically adding exposure to you, like adding exposure to who you are. There are so many channels that's literally just this person living their life and talking about the things that they want to talk about, and because other people are interested in those things, then they follow that person, which is just really cool. Like, building a personal brand is basically just living and exposing that to the world. For me, like, how I live and how I'm trying to live and how I'm trying to apply certain things to my life. So hopefully, if people find that interesting and they want to see those things about, like, how I'm living and applying things to my life, like, if they see that and they're like, oh, I want to see more of that, then they follow me as a person. They're following what I am creating, which is just really cool. Like, I find that really cool. Just a cool idea that building a personal brand is just adding exposure to who you already are. Yeah, because personal brands are really like when people create content around what they want to create content in. At least when you first start out, you're only making content that you want to talk about and that you want to, like, create. And then people just like the way you do it. So I just found that interesting. And that was the second thing that I learned today. And the third thing that I learned today, which is kind of like encompassing both the learning and the personal brand stuff, is that I am very interested in this kind of thing. Like, I'm very interested in learning, very interested in YouTube now, I'm very interested in building a personal brand now, I'm very interested in I really love learning, and I really love being useful with my time. But the problem that I encountered today, that I was thinking about, is that, yes, I would say I'm a pretty productive person. I am able to get done the things that I need to get done, and I'm happy. Like, I still have free time at the end of the day. Like, I live a pretty good life, and that's probably just because I have very minimal responsibilities because I'm still in high school, but I do think that I am a pretty productive person. I have formulated this schedule and this structure for each day. If I do everything that's on my schedule for the day, then I would say that's a win for the day. Now, obviously, I don't do that every single day, but I think I have a very well-structured day. The problem is, I'm spending too much time by myself. And I'm not, like, I feel bad. Not only for myself, but for, like, the people who are also living in this house. Like, I feel like I'm only doing the things on my schedule for me. Like, I'm only working out because I want to get bigger. I'm only doing skill work outside because I want to get better at softball. I'm only making these videos because I want to have a YouTube channel. I'm only, like, everything I'm doing, I'm by myself doing it. And when I'm not saying, I don't think I'm lonely. I haven't experienced, like, deep loneliness, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm, like, structuring my day, and all the things I'm doing, when I'm doing school, I'm just in my little hovel, doing my school, and just, like, doing my little work, and everyone else is, like, down there, and I'm just in my little space. And then after I do that, I go down to the basement where nobody is, and I work out. And then after that, I go outside where nobody is and do my thing. And then I, like, spend more time at my desk, like, working on YouTube and stuff. Like, I'm always by myself, and I feel bad. First of all, I don't want to get lonely, because I feel like if I'm always doing everything by myself, then that is a recipe for being lonely. I'm not lonely right now, but, like, I feel like it could lead to that. But also, I just feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm so selfish with my life. I feel like I'm so selfish with how I live my life. Like, I'm only doing these things for me, and I'm not necessarily doing it for God or, like, for other people. I'm never helping other people, and I'm never doing things for other people. Like, I literally live with my parents, and I only, like, my mom is home all day pretty much. I only see her, like, for an extensive period of time after 5 p.m. I'll see her, like, occasionally throughout the day, but not, like, extensively. And I just feel bad. Like, I don't spend enough time with my parents. I don't spend enough time with other people. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just, like, doing my little thing all by myself. I hope you get what I'm saying. And I don't really know where I'm going towards this. I don't know. I just don't spend enough time with people. And I'm just kind of grinding. Doing, like, I think the things that I am doing, like I was saying, they are productive things. Like, doing school is pretty productive, I would say. Working out, that's a good thing to do. Working on my softball skills, like, that's gonna help me get better. Working on my YouTube, that's gonna, like, they are relatively productive things. So I don't feel bad that I'm doing those things, but I also do feel bad because I've had this problem before, because emotionally and, like, socially they're bad, because I'm doing everything by myself and I'm not including other people. And I feel like if someone were to live in this house and they didn't know me and they just never saw me throughout the day until the end of the day, like after 5 or 6 or after like 5 p.m., like, they'd be like, oh, what is that person doing? Like, why are they always by themselves and, like, always doing their own thing? I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I should be feeling bad about this, because it's not really a bad thing to be doing all these things, but I just feel like I'm being selfish with my life. Like, I do like my schedule. I just feel bad that I'm not around other people while I'm doing those productive things. That's the conclusion I have come to. I like my schedule, but I don't like that I'm always by myself and I'm not around other people while I am fulfilling out that schedule. So let's get into some actionable advice, how I'm going to apply this to my life, how I'm going to apply these learnings to my life, and how you guys can apply it to yours. So the first thing that I talk about was learning in the small pockets of time. That is very actionable. If you have a schedule and you have, like, scheduled things and you're waiting for those scheduled things to happen, in those small pockets of time, work on, like, a project. Like, I think it would be super beneficial for me if I actually worked on my YouTube channel and, like, worked on ideas and stuff in those small pockets of time. That would be beneficial. Just do things in those small pockets of time that is not just scrolling on your phone, because that is just bad in all ways, and you already know that. The second thing is about building a personal brand. It's not necessarily actionable. It's kind of just a fact that building a personal brand is just exposing yourself and exposing you, like, who you are as a person. So if you're trying to build a personal brand, I have gotten advice from this from the comments, actually. Someone commented that I should make sure that I'm still focusing on these things that I am learning and not try to be so, like, algorithm retention based. And I already knew that, but it's just nice to have that reminder. So if you're building a personal brand, then make sure you're making content that represent you and not making content that represent a algorithmic version of you. And then the third thing that I talked about was just living your schedule out selfishly. I don't really know what to do about this. I guess I'm just gonna try to, I don't know if this is applicable to you guys, but just hang out. If you live with your parents still, then hang out with them more. And don't be stuck in your little room, in your little hovel, your nice little desk setup, and just do everything in one spot. Like, move around, do things with other people. Don't do everything alone. I think that is my problem. So, yeah. This is kind of just like a mumbo-jumbo collection of things that I was thinking about today. But yeah, hopefully you found something helpful out of it. If you did, then subscribe, because I am doing videos just like these. I'm posting every single day, daily insights, talking about what I learned that day and how I'm trying to implement it to my life and how you guys can implement it into yours. So if you want to see those kinds of videos, I'm really trying to just get better right now. I need to have better editing, better videos. I'm going to have more like well-produced videos coming soon, so subscribe if you want to see those. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow.